prices. So when you sign up to Festival Trends for the Royal Ascot session, you will be redirected to this page where there are two download links currently. There's one which is the Royal Ascot anti-post guide for handicap fancies. It was this very sheet that picked out something Wells at Cheltenham. Let's have a look and see the actual guide itself though for next Tuesday, the first day of the Royal meeting. So here we are. You can see it's 31 pages just for the Tuesday. The 5 days are going to run to, well, 531s is 155, so it's going to run to probably over 150 pages of information, which is, you know, incredible amount of data. There are a couple of, if you're familiar with some of the old guides, then there's a couple of new features here. There's some profiling, horse profiles done for the Group 1 races. There's also some foaling information for 2-year-olds, which may or may not be material. And finally, most importantly, I think, there's a trends score for each race, which rates the race as either, you know, from 1 to 10, 10 being the strongest and 1 being the weakest. So if a trends race is, say, a 9 out of 10, you might very well want to be quite confident, let's say, in your staking, whereas if the race is only 1 out of 10, then maybe you just want to have a small interest bet on that race. Of course, Sod's Law says that there'll be a 25 to 1 winner in one of the weaker trends races, but that's, you know, that's the nature of this game that we love. Anyway, so Tuesday the 16th, there are 6 races from the Queen Anne to the Windsor Castle, and again, I hope Gavin doesn't mind me doing this. I'm just gonna I think I'm going to run through the Queen Anne Stakes just to show you what kind of information you get for each and every one of the 30 plus races at the Royal Ascot meeting. The first bit's a bit of race history, and then a breakdown of the recent trends. Interesting to note that no fillies won this race in over 50 years of trying, and the last 24 winners were all aged either 4 or 5. So I'm guessing you can put a reasonably confident line through any 6-year-old mares in the race. You can see other trend pointers highlighted for you. Feel free to ignore these if you want to. I know some people don't take too much notice of the betting because the horse arguably doesn't know where it is in the betting. If you're one of those, then fine, you can feel free to ignore that. Otherwise, all of this information has been correlated further down. What else have we got here? We've got the records of trainers in recent years. You can see there's some quite strong trainer performances. This is an interesting grid. It used to have yeses and nos in it, and now it's got ticks and crosses, which makes it much easier to see at a glance those horses that are favoured by the key trends. There's draw information, which again for the Queen Anne is not really probably particularly material, although boxes 1 to 3 do seem to have a let's see, they've got nearly 50% of the win and placed horses, which is certainly more than you'd expect. This really comes into its own in the straight course handicap races where you've got 25-30 runners, and the draw can be really material in some of those, so you'll get some excellent insights from that little section. There's a breakdown of the last 10 winners, and we can see pretty quickly that Saib Bin Suroor's had 1, 2, 3, has had 4 of the last 10. Sir Michael Stout's had 3, and Aidan O'Brien has had 2. So 3 trainers have monopolised this race in the last decade. Information on the age of the winner, how the favourites fared, the pace angles, and then pulled all that together in an average Joe section. There's a short piece on where the horses were bred, and what percentages of them have won and placed to the number of runners. This is one of the new features, which is the profiles of leading fancies. You can see, for instance, that Arabian Gleam and Mac Love don't seem to have strong profiles for the race, whereas perhaps Gladiatorus has a very robust profile, perhaps. There's a breakdown of each of the main trial races for each of the Royal Ascot Festival races, and then after all of that, which is, let's face it, a lot of information, I know many of you out there don't have the time or maybe the inclination to go through all that, and you just want to know what the most likely winner of the race is, either on trends or on the ratings. If that's you, then that's fine. Nobody's, you don't have to be interested in all the detail. Nobody's going to come and check that you've read every single word. Just skip to the end of each race section and look at the applying the trends piece. So you can see that Cesare and Mac Lovers, as older than 5, have limited chance, we believe, and so on. These are the elimination criteria for the trends. Eventually, the most likely winner on trends is a horse called Virtual. The most likely winner on the nag ratings is a horse called Gladiatorus, who you can see is top rated. So Gavin, sorry about this, mate. I've just spilled the beans on your Queen Anne fancies. Virtual and Gladiatorus are the horses to go to metaphorical war with, if you'll pardon that rather laboured pun. And on we go. So the next race is King's Stand. I'm obviously not going to go through all of these races because that would somewhat devalue Gavin's product. But I just want to say that, as you probably already know, and certainly as I've demonstrated here, with the winners that there's been through the months to date, the Festival Trends guides are fantastic value, and they're really excellent at finding the winners and also highlighting horses that have got a very limited chance of winning. If you sign up to Festival Trends for the whole week, you'll also get Gavin's place pot selections, which have done pretty well, and you'll also get a tip sheet for each day where he says about any jockey changes, any steamers in the betting, any nuances in the going, changes in the going, and so on and such like. So it really is a comprehensive package. Like I say, we won't find the winner of every race. This is there's no magic bullet here. I think you know that. I think you've been around Geegeez and possibly Nag 3 as well for long enough to know that. Sometimes you'll use the trends on a race and they just won't work. Nobody predicts the winner in every race, and anyone who tells you they can is either a liar or they're trying to take you for a fool. That's not what Gavin's about at Nag Nag Nag. That's not what I'm about at Geegeez. I'm about recommending good stuff that I think offers excellent value for money, and this hits both of those nails firmly and squarely on the head. That's probably enough from me, actually. I think you've already seen in atomic detail the joys of all the data in the Festival Trend. This is just one of the races I showed you. Remember that you're going to get that for every one of the 30 plus races at Royal Ascot. There is a link below this video if you want to get a copy. Royal Ascot starts next Tuesday. I can't believe it's already here. It was only the Derby last Saturday, which is just crazy. 9 days between Derby Day and the opening day of Royal Ascot is unbelievable. But there we are. That's the British racing calendar. Anyway, if you fancy it, get hold of a copy, click the link below, fill in your details, and away you go. And I hope you find the same winners that I do from Gavin's fantastic guide. That's all from me. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.